The scientist placed a lump of black viscous material on the man's body and began the experiment. The man was so terrified when he saw it that he didn't dare move. Then the symbiote took the chance to slip into the man's body. And just when everyone saw the man's vitals were normal, thinking the experiment had succeeded, the man's body suddenly began convulsing violently. Clearly the symbiote and its host were having a rejection reaction. What they didn't know was that this alien organism is extremely picky about its hosts, but if someone can be successfully parasitized, he will gain incredible abilities. And it all began with a spacecraft that crashed to Earth. When the rescue team arrived at the scene, they discovered several strange canisters, and inside them were living specimens brought back from space. But one of the samples had mysteriously gone missing. Fortunately, a survivor was found at the site. The rescuers immediately rushed him to the hospital. But before the ambulance had gone far, the critically wounded astronaut suddenly sat up. Then the ambulance suddenly lost control and began rolling violently down the road. Meanwhile, the recovered alien specimens were all taken to a lab for parasitic experiments, and the fate of those who failed the bonding shocked everyone present. What they didn't know was that reporter Eddie had already slipped inside, because he had received a tip that the lab had long been conducting brutal human experiments. If Eddie could capture the evidence on camera, he could expose the darkness behind it to the world. But the horrors inside the lab filled Eddie with terror. The lab held all kinds of patients, some barely clinging to life, some lying motionless on the floor. Just as Eddie photographed the evidence and was about to leave, someone suddenly recognized him. The person pounded on the glass, begging for help. Eddie quickly realized it was his neighbor, who had been missing for days. Desperate to save him, Eddie grabbed a nearby fire extinguisher and smashed it against the glass with all his strength. But once the neighbor got free, he tackled Eddie to the ground, pinning him down with both hands. Then a mass of black liquid quietly appeared. As the black liquid slipped into Eddie's body, the neighbor's life signs vanished instantly. Terrified, Eddie immediately ran for his life. But at that moment, the lab's security guards also arrived. In the chaos, Eddie didn't notice the changes happening in his body. He could easily dodge the pursuit. Even a metal door gave way with barely any effort, and with a light leap cleared a railing, escaping the experimental facility. But Eddie did not know that the real story was only just beginning. When the black symbiote awakened inside him, a vortex tied to the fate of humanity was quietly closing in on him.